How's it going, everyone? It is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. Before we get into the video, just wanted to address a quick housekeeping item. Got a couple comments that inform me some of my past couple videos from last week. Pretty bad audio quality, pretty bad mixing, volume was crazy loud. So just wanted to thank you guys for letting me know. I not try to make the highest quality production, but I do want to have a minimum standard that, one, you can at least see this in 1080p, and then two, you can hear me clearly and the music isn't blaring over your ears. So thanks everyone for listening. Change it to some nice light bossa nova music in the background to keep us nice and calm. Shouldn't be too distracting. If people still want no music, let me know. I'll take it out of the video. A little bit less work for me. I've also done a couple of tests just to make sure that my audio mixing sounds good. Usually it's in a good spot, but when I am away from my setup and have to record just from my computer and I don't have my mic, the mixing can get a little bit wonky, so I need to be a little bit better about checking my mixing on those days that I'm traveling or moving around. All right, so let's get into the picks from the last video. I gave two picks, which was Qualcomm if it closes above the all-time high, and then Dell. So let's take a look at Qualcomm yesterday. So Qualcomm broke above the all-time high, which was right around here. Nice, strong price action, and then it pulled back later in the day, and it closed pretty much right above it. So this is technically a close, but it wasn't a super convincing close in my opinion. I'd like to have seen the bounce after this retest. So no trade on Qualcomm yet. Today it's holding the gains. It's still kind of testing this level here. So I'd like to see it kind of hold the gains here. Stock setup wise, it's looking pretty good, but the market setup wise, the market has kind of made a pretty decent run in the past 3 days. So we may see it come in a little bit, see what the selling pressure is like, kind of see that daily bid check, see where buyers come into play. That's what's going to kind of prompt me to wait on this all-time high breakout. If this ends up being a bit of a dud because of the strong market strength, then it'll fall below that level during the market pullback. So Qualcomm was a no trade. Okay, next pick I had was Dell. So Dell, similar sort of breakout on the D1. I like this breakout through the high plus trend lines coming into play here. And we had heavy volume. We had a nice gap and go. Didn't get too ahead of itself, compressed, and then it had a really nice move to finish off the day. So I did end up entering Dell earlier in the day, right around here, this 147 level. Today it kind of gapped down, tested this level, and now it's rallying. Certainly some heavy volume here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a buying climax or not on an intraday chart, but I ended up actually exiting Dell for a scratch today. And here's the reason why I exited Dell for a scratch. It really has to do with my market read right now. I'll talk about it a little bit more on the market in just a second, but the TLDR is that I want to wait for the market to come in a little bit before I start entering some new swing longs. If I already had swing longs from here or here and I added to them, then I wouldn't be as concerned. But if I'm taking new swing longs on this breakout, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious because I want to see the seller reaction over here. So on Dell, I took this trade looking for a nice move, a nice gap up in the morning, and I could take profits into that gap up. Instead, we got some resistance around 150, the same high from yesterday, a pretty strong and quick test down, and then we've been grinding up higher ever since, which is not bad. Given what the market is doing today, given the fact that I think it may come back in a little bit, I decided to scratch out of Dell, and I could see what the market price action is like. So Dell was an entry, but it was also a break even. I'm trying to just be pretty cautious with the trade. We had an opportunity yesterday. I thought we could see a gap up, maybe a reversal, but that did not end up manifesting. So 2 break evens, and you can see we haven't really taken a lot of trades in the past couple of days, even though there's been the breakout. There's been a couple of day trading opportunities that I haven't recommended, or the Riley earnings time spread, which I'm not going to count because it was kind of a bonus. But if you look at Riley earlier in the day, you had chance to take profits on that trade anywhere in the first hour. Now you definitely do not have the chance to take that profit, but we're still playing it pretty cautious. I am probably going to recommend some day trades today. We're going to see how the market price action unfolds. We may have a double top forming here, and this could be the real bear cross coming. So I'm going to remove Dell. I'm going to remove Qualcomm. Let's take a look at GE. We're holding GE right now. So GE made a pretty nice move yesterday. Let's zoom in on this chart a little bit here. So GE came down and tested this horizontal level. I wasn't loving this price action here because this happened while the market was rallying. We got a nice bounce off this level yesterday. No gap up, which I wasn't crazy about, but we did hold support. The key thing that I saw and what made it interesting with GE is that it actually didn't react at all to the market yesterday, and then we got this later day move. So that was a sign that it wasn't a market move because it kind of happened out of sync with the market. It really pushed it up, and we're hovering right around our A VWAP E at this point. So I like that move on GE. It gives me a little bit more confidence in the trade. It tells me that this support level is intact, and even if the market comes in a little bit, I do want this to hold. Now, even though I'm a little bit more bullish on GE, I'm still not gangbusters bullish because we did get the strong selling pressure. So I'm still looking to exit out for a smaller loss or a scratch on this trade. But I do like how the support level held, and that gives me a little more confidence. So we're still going to play it day by day in the next couple of days, looking for a nice spot to exit. We just have to be patient. That spot will come, and we know that if this level breaks, we got to be out of the trade because now our D1 chart is invalidated. The other warning sign you can take a look at here is I have this generally drawn upward sloping channel. We've broken that channel to the downside, and it wasn't really a poke. It was a break, and we're coming back up. So unless we get back into that channel here, it tells us that the long-term bias of the stock is changing. Okay, next trade we're in is Tesla, good old Tesla. So we took, again, this short on the 10th, came up over here, tested this level, and now is coming back down. I think the mistake I probably made in Tesla, I'm going to zoom out to the M15 chart here so we can see, is my trade just didn't quite align with the market bias at the time. I got the market wrong, and the stock has done pretty well, all things considered, with the market. But I just got this completely wrong on Tesla, so that was the mistake I made. I didn't quite put the market first. So it broke through the SMA like we saw a couple of days ago, came back and tested this level. Now it's forming a nice wide bearish trend. It still could get to that price point, but because we have a PDS, our time is limited on this trade. So we need it to really eclipse back into this range within tomorrow. So again, unlikely that we're going to take the win on this trade, but we are looking to take the best loss in this scenario. I'm also thinking back to the target PDS that we took the loss on. That also didn't quite align with the market at the time. This is at 5.1. Well, we got our market bias wrong here on target, but we still had a chance to exit for a profit. When we took this at 5.10, yeah, we didn't quite make a new low of the day for the market. So because I didn't put the market first, market really soared up here. Tesla tried its very best, but could only hold on so long in quite a roaring market. And that's kind of the issue with the PDS. You got to really get that market bias and stock bias right in the shorter term time frame. Otherwise, you're just going to take these big rips against you. All right. So we're still going to wait on Tesla here. If the market comes in a little bit, I think we still have a chance to get out of this trade, maybe for a scratch or a smaller loss. but that's got to happen tomorrow. Let's take a look at what the market is doing today. I'm going to put my note up here. I haven't done that in a while. So my long-term fundamental bias, still a 1. We're still waiting on some next round of economic data. GDP coming out at the end of the month. ISM services in the beginning of June. Unemployment report as well. The jobless claims was more in line today versus last week, which it was a little bit higher. So that's going to be the number we're going to watch here. We want to see the economic numbers do well and hold up in this environment. Technically, I shifted to a 2 on a longer term basis simply because we made a new all-time high and we are holding this breakout today. We didn't get this gap up reversal. So I like seeing that. This tells us that the longer term buying is still intact on a technical level. But this move up was not as strong as the move up we saw earlier. I think how it started was pretty benign, and then it did gain some nice orderly price action last week and this week. So I like what I'm seeing on a longer term technical basis here. I'm still not looking to take any short term swings, or I guess any, swings kind of like here until we see that move down. But I'm really making sure that I'm picking my spots with these swing trades. And I think April 23rd, May 6th was the add. And then yesterday, you could have added here if you wanted to. I know Pete said he felt a little bit extended. The market could come in a little bit, but certainly had a couple of add points over here on some strong stocks. I think Goldman Sachs was an excellent example. Here's a great stock that you can trade. Here's the breakout on the 23rd. Stock is still grinding up higher, and it's looking very, very nice. So that was another example. You can get in on Goldman Sachs on the 23rd, whereas the 10th, you add in on the, here's the 9th. Oh, here's the 6th. Sorry, add in on the 6th with the market, and then you're riding this trend up, and you have a really nice cost basis for that trade. Short-term market bias, I am cautiously bullish right now. I still like everything I'm seeing, but if you think about the market in terms of the cycles, here's our down cycle, here's our up cycle. We made a new all-time high, not the craziest volume, decent price action. I do feel like we are closer to the end of the move than the beginning. And I don't want to take any swing trades at this juncture because I want to wait for the market to find support and then launch off that support. So that's what I'm waiting for my swing trades. I'm going to keep it short with just day trades, keeping it very light, not getting too ahead of itself, because the last thing we want is we get too out over our skis in this choppy trading environment, and then we got to take heat on the April 4th candle. So we're still going to stick to some more day trades. If the market comes in, maybe test this gap breakout, maybe test the prior all-time high, holds that level and bounces off, I'll feel way better about taking some swings because we have some nice entry points. Okay. So that's our shorter term market bias. We're cautiously bullish. Intraday, let's look at what happened yesterday. We had a nice gap and go bullish trend day. The market made a huge move yesterday, and that's important because it contextualizes what can happen today. After that huge move, it's unlikely we're going to get anything really massive today. I don't think we're going to sell off, but we had a flat open, compressed for a little bit. We got a nice bullish divergence, and then this bull cycle produced. We're getting this double top over here. So I'm not exactly bullish, but I am a little bit more neutral at this point. And we could have the market go either way. We have this 1-up bearish cross coming into play, and we might see a test of this channel. And then I think we're going to end up breaking this upward sloping bullish channel that's coming in on the market. I think we're going to go a little bit more sideways and then probably end up going down. You can see the volume is picking up here as well. This looks like a buying climax. We paused and then that bar fell. Another test here, and this was a nice, really high volume bar. So it looks like bulls are trying to exit the trade. We didn't quite get back to the same price. I think we're going to go down here, which is another reason I also exited some of the, I exited Dell long as well. It synced up right around this bearish engulfing candle, which would look like a bearish cross at the time. So just playing it cautious, not having too much capital swinging right now. I'm just using it for day trading, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so now that we have our market bias, I'm going to talk about the market components quickly. We talked about the context. It's a little bit overextended on the D1. We had a really big move yesterday. We're waiting for it to come back in. We had a nice move in the beginning, but now we're seeing some selling pressure here. We want to get to the sidelines, not really force anything right now. Wait for our setups in the day. Let's see how this bear cycle plays out. There may be an opportunity to get a nice day trade later in the day. Component-wise, Megacap Tech was a little bit stronger in the day, but there wasn't a lot of tech strength earlier in the day. There's a lot of strength in staples. Walmart has some nice earnings. Stocks like Cost or MMM were doing pretty nice in the morning. I think staples were getting a lot of love from those Walmart earnings. But what I've noticed is that usually tech will lead the way, and then when tech starts to weaken, there'll be some sector rotation into some other areas like staples or utilities or defensive kind of sectors like that. And when I see that, it does signal that we may be closer to the end of the rally than the beginning. So that was the other clue that I've noticed. So with all that information, what picks can we take? So let's see what happens here in this bearish cycle. I'm going to give a bullish pick and a bearish pick on the two scenarios. If we hold VWAP here and digest some of the gains on the bearish cycle, we could have a nice launching off point for a nice long. If we actually produce on this bearish cycle and we get a nice benign bull cycle, then we could get a nice opportunity for a short. So let's look at some longs first, and I'm going to give my tags right here. It's like not a lot of stocks are holding up super well. Marvel is looking pretty good earlier in the morning. It hit some D1 resistance. Now it's grinding through that. So Marvel is definitely one we want to keep our eye out on. Pretty nice gap up. It's been grinding up here. I always like to draw these channels on the stock. Something I've been really doing recently just to kind of help me better enter the trade. And I always try to hard to do these live. But I see the channel something like here, right? Doesn't have to be exact, just something kind of rough. So it's like, okay, well, we're hitting the top of the channel. Wait for it to compress, bounce off the bottom of the channel, and then you can take a nice entry. I think an HA reversal would be a nice entry point on this candle. You get it at 11:30, or even a key green bar. So I'm going to set two alerts here. I'm going to set a bullish HA reversal, and I'm also going to set a key bar here. I'm really liking these key bars for some alerts on specific stocks. MMM was nice. I actually took a small day trade win on that today before I got the bearish engulf. It's holding up pretty well, but it's made a pretty big move. We have this LRSI cross here, so I like this double bottom lower high happening on the stock. This could be a nice day trade long later in the day when we get that LRSI cross. PCG is holding up pretty well. Google is compressing. It's hitting that's all-time high here. Futu was nice. It hit some D1 resistance. There was this old gap all the way from, Jesus, I don't even know when. 2021? We're going back far here. Okay, here is the gap from, oh boy. Let's see if we can even see this here. Here is our gap from October 4th. Is this going to load for me here? October 4th, 2021. Hit this gap. And one thing I like to do in these scenarios where I'm trying to find some resistance or some potential stopping points is I put in the price line. Here's the price line for Futu. You can see how it hit that gap perfectly, rejected off it. Doesn't mean the trend is going to stall or going to reverse. It just means it may stall at that point. A lot of heavy volume on this gap as well. So if it breaks through that, I'm interested. I think I have a high of the day alert, so I'm going to just create an alert on Futu. If it makes a new high of the day, I'm interested in entering this stock. Cost was really nice. Really strong parabolic move earlier in the morning. First hour, 15 minutes, came back over here, pulling back a little bit with the market. That's okay right now. I know it's a really strong mover, so what I'm going to do is I have my LRSI alert that is going to be triggered. And I also have this downward sloping trend line. So if we break through this downward sloping trend line, get the LRSI alert, and we get a nice HA reversal candle, nice flat bottom candle that closes above the 8 EMA, yeah, I'd be interested in taking cost long, but we're going to wait for that 1OP bull across, and we're going to wait for the price action to find some support over here. We're at a bit of a juncture in the market. We don't want to hop the gun on anything, but I really do like cost. I think it could set up really well. That's probably going to be my day trading long. Let's take a quick look at Marvel here. Yeah, really extending. Wow. Marvel could also be really nice. Oof. This is tough. I like how it broke through this D1 level. It may come back down and retest it. There's also a little bit of support. There's just a little bit of stuff here in Marvel, which I'm not crazy about. Like there's a couple of these, tails and wicks and supports coming over here. So it just feels like it has a little bit more stuff to get through. So I'm just not as crazy about it on the D1. It has the volume and has the momentum to certainly get there. That's what it's telling me right now. What I like about cost is that it has a lot more clear skies than the D1, and I'm going to weight that a little bit more heavily. I know that this is probably not, let's see, looks like this is maybe, yeah, stock related. It actually dipped earlier than the market, but it's kind of doing its own thing, and I'm going to prioritize that over what I'm seeing in Marvel. So cost on an LRSI pullback, breaks to this high plus trend line, and the market finds support. That would be my long. Now on the short side, I saw a couple of nice setups over here. Sedge was a nice one. Looks like it broke through its downward sloping channel. So wait for Sedge on this one. Is testing that prior day high. So I'm going to set an alert. I want to see if I have an alert set on this already, but you should set an bear LRSI alert, which was, I guess, both triggered. So we're going to recreate those alerts. One more long I liked as well. We're going to see if it ends up holding up Walmart. So Walmart had a really big post-earnings gap. It's digesting the move, but this stock is going to kind of do its own thing. Now, it's going to come back here. It's going to test this support from the opening candle. There's a lot of buying here. It's going to test a support. If Walmart can get above VWAP and get some nice, steady price action, then I think we're going to have a nice setup on our hands. I'm not as worried about following the market on this stock because it has so much R volume, so much institutional activity that it's really going to do its own thing, and it's not going to follow the market as much. So I'm keeping an eye on two things here. Walmart, if it can get above VWAP here, we get some nice orderly buying. I could go long for a nice day trade, and then if it breaks to the high of the day, then I could add to that, providing that the market conditions are at least neutral or even mildly bullish. WHR is pretty nice. Same thing, really big move down, compressing here. Has to get through its low of the day before it sets up. A couple of other ones that I liked was Lulu. Lulu, really weak D1, breaking out of its compression, and has some room to this low plus trend line. Let's see where this is coming from. Yeah, certainly quite significant. I mean, you could probably draw one here as well that has quite a bit of touches. So I would respect that trend line, but I like what I'm seeing Lulu. Had my eye on the stock for quite a while because this stock was just not doing much while the market was rallying. The first signs of market stalling, the stock is starting to tank. So I like what I'm seeing in the stock. A little bit choppy, so I would probably wait for at least a pullback or a compression here. But this, if the market closes below the prior day low, this could be a nice overnight swing. So Lulu is a pretty good trade. We're going to take a look at just a couple of other shorts at the moment. See if there's anything else that we can get to over here. One trick I like to do is go to Red Royal Flush, and I sort it by my range. So you can see Lulu's at the top of that list. Let's go to Pop Bear, BMRN. That's a nice breakout. Wow. This guy is moving, compressing here at the 8 EMA. BMRN is really nice. If I can get through a nice compression break, I would take I'll take the stock on a compression break for sure. It's gone parabolic here, pull back, and it's digesting the gains. So yeah, that's a nice move. Nothing going on here. Let's double check the daily chart, make sure it's still good. I liked what I saw initially. Go through some technical lines, just make sure there's no major D1 levels here. Looks like that is a level. A lot of high volume there, so we want to be careful there, but certainly plenty of room till we get to that point. What is this low at? Low 76.02. What's this low? Okay, so maybe 76.50. Want to be a little bit careful here. But that is a nice amount of room, about a half ATR room. I do quite like that stock. But I'll see what's on heavy sell here. We saw Lulu, we saw Cisco. We did not see Cisco actually. Bearish and Gulf, nothing crazy. Don't love that D1 chart. Baba, Chinese stocks were strong today. We know that Future has some work to do here. BMY was nice. Looks like it hit a little bit of support. Rocket, don't love the D1. AEO, Check a couple of stocks. These are stocks that are compressing right now. XS. XS could be decent. It's holding that low of the day. Just got to get through that level. If it can clear that, I'd be pretty interested. Let's see, low. Yeah, we're right at that low. We have this trend line coming here. It's not bad. Just not crazy about it because it's such a choppy stock. Let's take a look at KSS. No. How about W here? W, nice little reversal. Okay. Nice flat bottom HA reversal. At the 8 EMA. Got a little bit of room till AVWAP E and 6627. Not a bad setup. Not a bad setup. Is it the best setup? No. I think it's good, but it's not the best. But this is a really excellent entry point, I would say. Breaking out of compression, doing its own thing. It went parabolic, digested the gains, couldn't get anything going. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good stock. So if I look at our shorts here, I'm trying to see what's the best one I can recommend. I'm going to go with BMRN. BMRN. If it breaks through this compression, then I would get short. That's going to be my pick of the day on the short side. We're going to take a look quickly at some earnings time spreads, see if there's anything that's nice. Not a lot's going to be happening here because we're kind of out of the meat of earnings season. 2.2 is a little bit too high for me. I'm trying to be very conservative. AMAT is decent. I could take it. It's not bad, but I want to see something like Riley where it's like 0 and the difference is really high, right? I feel way more confident in that. So not going to recommend AMAT. No earnings time spreads today. Those are our two picks. We'll see if they end up playing out. I would say just be patient today. Be careful. If you have swing longs, make sure you have a clear strategy of what you expect for the market, what you expect for the swings. If you have a clear plan, even if you take the loss, you won't feel bad about taking the loss. So just make sure you do that. And, you know, we'll just take it one step at a time. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll take a look at these day trades tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great day.